how this is going to go. We've got the podcast, the channel, TikTok, and Facebook. We're going to differentiate everything into different spaces for you guys because I notice you guys are catching all the platforms and I appreciate it. So what we're going to do is I'm creating a series within my Life is Art reality show podcast. It's for those in the smaller circle that have chosen to tune in and take your time out of your day to tune in. It's an appreciation show for you. We're getting really deep. Just for the podcast is the series on Life is Art reality show. We're going to be getting into my authentic experience, being in speaking and deep content that we've always done that you've tuned in for. I'm not taking away this familiar vibe that you've tuned into. I'm also going to be getting deeper into more ASMR driven content and just like the deeper vibes. It's to tune in to these vibes here that I'm putting out for you, away from all the other noise, away from the social traffic. And it's a quiet space for us to reflect forward, go deeper into life. That is just for the podcast on Life is Art reality show. Now, it is going to be a more omnipresent sort of a background vibe. I'm not always going to name just for the podcast. I did an episode called Just for the Podcast that kind of inspired this. I don't even remember exactly what you might have tuned into with that vibe, because when I channel vibes in this medium, I'm channeling from a place of intentional vibing and energy with you. I'm not necessarily adding up records or any of that. I'm just really getting deep into different vibes in life and channeling with you. And there's a few of you that really vibe with this, and I'm not going to take away what you're tuning into, which is just the experience behind the scenes, ASMR, that kind of stuff. There's not going to be a consistent time and place you can catch me. This is going to be purely just off the cuff when I spark with quiet vibes with you. And that's going to be what makes this show unique. So that's just for the podcast. I'm not always going to name that this is just for the podcast. You're just going to know because it's just going to be original content that is just for the podcast. So the titles will be pretty deep and you won't see it anywhere else. TikTok is the place to hang out and vibe with community that can understand yourself, what you're interested in. So I would encourage you to get on TikTok and do that. If that does not include my vibes that I'm putting out on the podcast, that is definitely okay. That is understandable. I'm on there for those that really, really vibe out loud. It's kind of a loud place over there. So I'm actually telling you, the podcast is going to be for, we don't give a shit about who's listening. We don't give a shit about views. We don't give a shit about the traffic at all. It's a quiet place. TikTok, we're very loud and proud about what we vibe with, our values. Who we are is kind of an empowering thing. If it's too loud for you, I respect that. If you just want to hang out and feel safer on the podcast space. YouTube, we're going deep and getting pretty artful in our life. And I'm getting away from productivity. YouTube, I might still enjoy some of it depending on what they're talking about. I really like some vibes that are getting more into AI and conversational productivity. But YouTube is going to be more for music channel, entertainment. It's kind of more if you really want to understand the artful perspective of life with me and kind of that experience that is very subjective, and you can kind of turn it inside out. You can relate. You can hate watch if that's your jam. I really don't care, but it's more for the vibe of like music channel, entertainment, that kind of stuff. Vibes of just art. It can be deep and internal. It can be loud and external. It's kind of like a bit of like both in a way. It's a bit of, sometimes some of the content will be taken from TikTok or put back into TikTok if it's things that vibe. Same with the podcast a little bit if it's like things that really can vibe, multi-channel, but the podcast is still going to be more of that vibe that you're tuning into, which is less about the noise. But sometimes some of the things from YouTube can go deep and internal and can be safe to take with us into the podcast, or from TikTok into the podcast. Facebook is going to be the place to hang out, and those of us who know it get it. Those of us who vibe are there, and that's it. Kind of hanging out in that way. And sometimes it's kind of a data chart over there, so it's kind of like based on what we know to be true and what we're not afraid to put out there as well, and kind of like hanging out over there. And it's more about who we really are. It's that deep internal that you'll get from the podcast, but just with other people around. X is going to be the unapologetic tech vibes that go extremely deep and tuning in, but is not restricted to whether or not we're quiet or loud. It can be very, very true to ourselves, very, very much about the energy on X and the vibes over there and the integration and connection through how tech can evolve in actual life, and just more of the understanding of like the vibes of kind of all the places, and those of us who vibe in other places really, really strong can also vibe on X. So it's like the place where the interest and depth is real and all that kind of stuff, and is we're really, really anti-judgy over there on X. We're not really doing a lot of discernments, but we are doing more energy check and vibes over on X. And so that has a lot to do with the understanding that we respect each other, whether or not we agree or disagree, or whether or not we vibe or not, but it's just a deep respect over there on X and a maturity. So that is how all of this is going to go on Life is Art Reality. And if you know, you know. If you get it, you get it. And hopefully this makes a lot of sense. I really want to be here for you in this way that can address a lot of our sort of ways. We might vibe in different ways, in different mediums. You might not give a shit about giving me more subscribers or more views, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I actually would really respect that more. And so the podcast is the place where you can kind of be yourself and listen in and tune in. And none of you are obligated to give me more views or subscriptions or any of that. But it's more about these spaces that are here in different ways, and we just vibe differently in different spaces. So that's what this is. It's just the understanding of what's already been out there. What already makes up social media, or what already makes up creative, what already makes up creating for a creator. So that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully this is understood. And if you don't vibe with any of it, then just like scroll past, swipe past, go somewhere else and totally just like peace. And I understand completely. And that's how this is going to be. So just wanted to come in and check in with the vibes and let you know what's going on. So thanks so much for tuning in wherever you're tuning in Take care of yourself, take care of your life, take care of each other. Either way.